This is an 11/16 wrench size, 3/8 by 16 thread nut. And these are used on the hinge pin on the Atlas and Craftsman lathes. I just cut off a section of 11/16 hex stock that I can make these nuts out of. So what do you think? Can I make a good duplicate? So here we go. Drilling nice and slow here. A really easily machined hex stock. I placed an order with Speedy Metals. Got myself a nice assortment of hex stock and aluminum stock, so I can have a piece of metal when I want to make something. We've got that center drilled. We'll drill it with a 1/4 inch bit now. Well, you know, it cuts like butter. Pre-drilled section went almost as easy as aluminum. I can buy these nuts and pay shipping and all that good stuff. So why do that when I can make them? I have the material, I have the technology. It's not that hard. It won't take that long. We'll drill this about 1.5 inches. While I'm at it, I might as well make a few. Let's see, where are we at? 1/4, 1 inch, 1/4, almost 1.5 inches. Go about 1/8 inch pass, so I have, ran the ram off the screw. Go about 1/8 inch pass. And switch over to the letter Q bit. Which is the correct bit for tapping 3/8/16. Boy, that's a nice sharp bit. Just goes into that steel like butter. There we are, we're at the bottom of the hole. Now to get 1.5 inches of threads, I'm not sure this tap is 1.5 inches long. It's only 1.25 inches once we get above the lead in. So to get 1.5 inches of threads, I may have to thread this twice. And let's see, I think this is a good reason to use the back gears. So we're going to pull this pin, which disconnects the bull gear here from the pulley. And we're going to bring in this back set of gears, and we should have a nice low gear ratio now. Probably a little fast for tapping. This might not be the best idea in the world, but we're going to see how practical it is. So this should be the slowest speed the lathe can run. Don't want to break this tap off. So we'll turn it backwards by hand here and there. I gotta get my reversing fixed on my lathe. I could just reverse it with the motor if it was working properly. Just taking my time. I don't want to get greedy here. There we go. Yeah, these lathes are never perfect when you get them, even a real nice one. So someone's miswired this one at one time or another. There we go. Got us a 3/8/16 thread. Going in there about 1.25 inches. Pretty awesome. Maybe I could do this chamfer without disturbing the squareness of my tool post. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. Okay, so this gives us a round, flat surface, a little bevel on the threads. That's interesting. Now I need to set the depth. Looks like we want these to be either about 3/16 thick, 193. So we will do that just like so. Pull that back, make sure it doesn't strike. I think I want a slower cut than this with my parting tool. Interrupted cuts are always fun. I want to machine the back side of this nut. Wow, do I do it now and have to reposition the tool? I don't know. I think this first one I'm going to try to machine the back side of the nut and go with repositioning the tool. What do you think? Now's your chance to comment. Is it brilliant or foolish? You know what? Let's do a stop. So I'm going to have to move this way. I want to be able to come back to this position. I can do it. I'm going to use my carriage stop here. It's a crude carriage stop. Found the wrench. There we go. So I can come right back to this position. See what I'm doing there. I think that's the right thing. Okay. So we'll go back to the stop. Lock the carriage, change back to the cutoff tool. Should be able to go in and finish. Look at that. Lined up perfect. There's nut number one. So we will come in with the chamfer bit. Give that nut a little lead in. Double our nut. Looking good, looking good. Come back in with the cutoff tool. There we go. cut off. Reset the carriage stop. Never seen anybody run a carriage stop on the back side of the carriage before, but why not? I might be able to do this faster. Look at that. Touch off at the same time. Beautiful. Cut off tool, back against the carriage stop, lock the bed, finish the cut off. Should I say parting? Finish the parting. So we got 4 nuts, which was our goal. And this last one's probably pretty warm. I'll try it out on this stud. See if we got complete threads. No, we don't. So we're going to have to complete that one. So what we're going to do now is complete the threading on this nut. I've threaded it on there as far as I can by hand. I would presume we have a nice fit right into the jaws of the chuck. And I suppose I'll just hand thread this. There we go. So we finished the threading on that one. Ooh. Now that burr might be hurting us here. So we will open that up, release the tap, try to pick that burr out of there. This was what's left over from our cutoff tool. Hopefully that does it. Yay! Okay, we have one more operation, and that is to chamfer the threads on the back side of each one of the nuts that we cut off. That was one operation that we couldn't do before we cut it off. So I think the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use this doesn't have to be high precision, so I'm going to use the tap to position the piece. There we go. And then we'll use our chamfering bit to take about half a thread out. Trying to get clearance for my wrench to work here. Oops, what I do wrong. Yeah, face of the nut seems to be turning pretty true. Let's see what that looks like. Looks good. So here we go. Completed nut. Of course, this is the factory one on the right. So if you have a lathe, you can make things like this. It wasn't that hard. It didn't take me that long. Got to clean up the burr on the back side of the other 4 nuts, and then we'll be done. Now to complete my plan. Need a little washer here. I noticed the height of these 2 nuts together is not quite enough to keep these 2 doors from interfering with each other. So the washer should take care of that little adjustment. Well, they still touch a little bit, but quite a bit improved. Now, we put on our beautiful nuts that we made. Oh yes, we got the threads right. Look how nice that fit is. Wow. Don't you wish you had a lathe? When are you going to do something about it? All you got to do is save a little money, start watching Craigslist, get yourself a lathe. It doesn't matter if there's a little something wrong with it, you can make the parts. Look at that. Look at that. Man, I feel so good about what I've gotten accomplished today. It's fantastic. Beautiful. Yes, you can even make simple things like nuts. All you got to do, you see, it starts with getting your hands dirty. You got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing. You can do it. All right, I can't make myself stop. Isn't it fantastic to be able to make parts that are correct for the lathe? Nuts of the right height. I mean, that's just phenomenal. And you know what? It only took me about 45 minutes to make those. Made 4 of them, so I got 2 more for another lathe if I need them. And that's a lot faster than waiting on the UPS guy. Go on, get started. You can do a project.